Okay, 1 minute into the thing, here we are. It's motherfucking U Radio with Berserk and Chandelier Dundee.
Chandelier.
If anybody has anything they'd like to talk about with us this morning, please call in at 502-333-5153. And then also please visit DLMFCinemaNetwork.com where you can get the brand new Berserk album bundle and will also be the place to get the brand new Day of Night record in addition to all of the DLMF content there is available online. DLMFCinemaNetwork.com. So anyway, Berserk this week. Wow. What a week. Yeah. Tell me, is there anything that you can think of this week that's kind of out of the ordinary, that is kind of out of sorts and kind of something strange that happened this week that's worth talking about at all? Is there anything like that happened this week? Anything that matters like that?
No. You got anything?
No, not really. That's everything's been pretty standard this week.
You know what? There is one thing.
What? Oh, I know. I think I know.
Yeah.
I think I know. Okay, what?
My little girl did her kindergarten test.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. How did that go for her?
Dude, I was excited. And the only thing that was unfortunate about it is that I had to see it through picture because I wasn't able to be there, unfortunately.
Dad life.
Yeah. Dad life, entertainer life.
Yeah.
You know how that goes, obviously. I'm not preaching to anybody to know about that, but yeah, I was very excited about that. That was a very proud moment for me.
Yeah, that let's see, kindergarten, man, that's just like, gosh, that's right
where it starts.
It's right where it all starts, because that's where the like the daycare and the kind of the. All right, so if you send them to daycare, preschool, or send them to something like that, especially while they're still wearing diapers, there's like this constant worry that, you know, because when it's just you and your kid, you know how to check every crevice, you know how to make sure, you know the look on their face when they're thirsty or hungry, you know that, and with 30 other kids there, you say, okay, someone else can give them the attention that they need, and so that's a real anxiety where the kindergarten thing is really, it was like
an icebreaker.
Well, it was like that's like getting them used to going to school, being in a school setting. And the first grade, that's when they're, I don't know, you kind of look them in their face and you can see what they're going to look like when they're 40 out of nowhere. You know, they get their little haircut and wearing their little outfit and stuff. And
they got their own little school drama going on.
I swear to you, man. And so that's really awesome, man. That's you've got, you know, let's see, all right, kindergarten. So that means she is 5?
She's 6.
6, okay. Yeah. And you, man, boy, oh boy, do you sure have about 5 years of fun. And legit, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm talking fun and tears and proud and all these really good feelings you have. Because here's the good thing.
It's funny you say tears. I got a story about that, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you know, just rounding it up and wrapping it up, kids start to be far less assholes, far less little pricks. Then they start to like become a version of what they're always going to be, I think. Yeah. And you start to see that, and then you like kind of, you're like, man, maybe I had something to do with that. Like they did that. That's exactly what I would have done. Man, I did that. I taught somebody that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a really cool part. I think once 10 happens and then they go beyond 10, they start to become little pricks again. But I think up until that point,
little leave me alone.
Yeah. I mean, it just gets better and better and better up until they get about 10, and then then the emotional, the hormonal,
all that. Yeah.
I can't even get too deep into it because mine's gonna see this and get pissed off at me for even mentioning it. But
well, I mean, what are dads for?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, lots of cool shit. Berserk hits me up. Like I said, we talked about this on another podcast. Berserk hits me up with when he sends me a text message. That's usually a song he's worked on that night that he wants to get kind of like an opinion on. Then he hits me up the other night and says, yeah, check your email. I get an email. When you get an email from Berserk, you know it's about to be like a package of songs. So not only, I guess, is it a collection of music that's completed, or if it's just a bundle of songs you finished in one evening, wouldn't surprise me either way. But Berserk is still steam plowing through the studio right now.
Absolutely.
It's the craziest thing.
It's an itch. I don't know. And I don't really have even, I guess a lot of people deal with the fear of thinking they'll lose that strive or that drive. And it feels so much a part of me that I don't think I will. Even if I go in there and I make music that makes no sense, I'm always going to want to do it.
I have a feeling like once you know, you're just where you're getting a mere taste now, once your taste buds are oversaturated with the taste of brand new, you know, newness, doing stuff for the first time. Yeah. Once all these cherries are popped, okay, I think that I can see you, maybe even after the whole music career thing has taken a different direction or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can see you into your 40s, which you're so far away from that. But I can see you in your 40s, like recording spoken word stuff, recording, you know, like writing stuff, writing like a short story and then recording yourself doing the audio of that short story. I mean, it's who you are. It's not really what you do to be cool. It's, you know.
I'm always excited to see what it'll evolve into. So
let's see. It said that they're having trouble playing our videos. It's still showing live up there.
Yeah, so it's live.
It might be my shit then.
Yeah, it's probably just a playback on that.
Probably so. But the thing, man, I've been thinking about this. I've been contemplating a lot, and the complexities of life and everything. And the thing about that is, it's like I feel like someone like you or someone like me, someone like a couple of people that we have around regularly, I feel like if we were really trying to be cool and get like followers and people on the internet to like us and stuff, we would know better than to use like rap music to do it with.
Yeah.
Like we know the people that have not just like the cool cars, not just like the Dodge Chargers, you know, we know the people with like the Maseratis and the McLarens and shit.
Yeah.
We don't know the people who are throwing the party at whatever venue. Like we know the people who've got like the mansions throwing the derby parties and shit. Like, and I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but what I'm saying is like if we were out here just trying to be cool, this is the last thing we'd be doing to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Sure. And it'll let's see. It says the live video ended. Is it still on up there?
Yes, this is still on.
This is crazy. Let me refresh this because it said that it ended. Anyway, I just want to make sure folks can call in if they need to. But
let me give it a gander here. Excuse me, folks.
No. It says it's on here now.
Okay.
I updated it. Yeah, it says it's on. Ooh, so stupid the way that the shit is. But it's, I don't know. People's I don't want to even say it's this generation. I think it's like this generation's water source or this generation's, I don't know what the fuck it is, but people are on this unbelievable fucking mental lapse of I don't know.
Tone and what you're saying is being lost today because everything is relied on a message that's sent to you. Like even back in the day when you got a handwritten letter, when you had to send letters to talk to somebody, the way the penmanship told you how they felt when they wrote it.
Which is something that's like non-existent.
Non-existent anymore. Yeah. All you're getting is a straight Times New Roman text.
Yeah.
And in your head, you're reading it in whatever tone you decide you want to read it in.
Exactly. And which is a reflection of self, not necessarily a reflection of the person delivering it to you. And it's like with this business, it's crazy. With
people letting things roll off their back isn't so common anymore. People have to. I feel like the most childish thing is to always have to be right. That is like first-rate childish behavior. You know what I mean? Like where people will go to tooth and nail, like even if they're wrong, to even just accept the reality of being wrong and be like, learn something for once. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't do that. They're so dead set on being.
Because I honestly think, you know how I always jump on your shit for like watching. I'm like, Joey, like if I bump into you and you're watching like a funny TikTok video, or and I'm like, Joey, the mindless fucking internet television is rotting your brain.
Yeah.
I'm like that on people, because I seriously think they just sit all day and like they'll see so-and-so fight happens and whatever, and then they'll sit and watch 25 fucking videos like that where someone gets like sucker punched and humiliated or something.
Yeah.
And I think they'll really sit and spend time, and they think that's how all disputes work, or that's how disputes work, because they sit and just watch it on the internet all the fucking time, and they think that, any kind of altercation or anything at all, anytime somebody, it has to be some kind of viral moment for them, even if not on the internet, in their life. It has to be some kind of memorable moment. I think when a lot of people cross paths with me or the DLMF thing, and anytime I say me, like, it's all the DLMF. It's not like me because I'm me, but like, people cross the DLMF thing, and because of whatever anybody else has said or whatever, they immediately are waiting for that moment that they can like bust out and let it be known that they're not going to be the ones and it's like, dude, when you come to work here, it's not for that. We're not in it for a competition to show you how much more we are than you or whatever. We're trying to bring you in to fulfill this shit like together. You know what I'm saying? And it's the craziest thing that people assume that when they come and they like work for you, that you all of a sudden are not allowed to have rules for your shit. They can sit and watch you have a 10-year platform that you've built from the ground up, when all, exactly. I mean, we've talked about this behind the scenes, how our people sometimes don't even want to step up and be on the front line to stand up for our shit. You know what I'm saying? So a large portion of that decade has been an individual effort to keep this boat afloat, but then people come on and they work for you, and they think that the way that they do shit is the way that it's just going to be acceptable here, and that somehow it's going to still turn into what we turn it into, and not be the same old fucking local shit you see coming out.
Yeah.
And you go to somebody and you make a simple request. You say, hey, listen, I know that you're probably not used to doing these things this way, but here, this is kind of the way that we do things. And that's all that they need, brother, to go on. I mean, this hiatus about this personal verbal assault that they've, know what I'm saying? And all they have to do, I don't know, man. Basically, at the end of the day, the way that I explain it, I'm trying to like talk about it in a way to lay it all out and shit. But at the end of the day, these people handle their business like straight up fucking bitches. Is because they weren't in business before. They're not going to be in business after. We just see something that they're able to provide, and we kind of bring them on. It's like it all starts there's this thing like, if so many people say something about you being this way, don't you think it's not everybody else's fault? Don't you think it's your fault and stuff? And each and every single one of these people that you see out here, you watch and look, each and every one of these people that you see out here talking down on the shit don't have jobs, don't have cars, don't have fucking high school educations, don't have a house, don't have they don't have fucking 2 nickels to rub together. And they're out here furious with me because of the way I do my business. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I'll come and sit down personally, right directly face to face. You and I have done this. There's several other people that I've sat down face to face directly with them. And I say, look, this is the deal. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
When they don't keep up with their end of the deal, I will simply say, hey, this just isn't working out. And I won't make a big spectacle out of it. But as soon as that happens, they have to like retaliate and attach themselves to it for 15 more minutes. They have to like come out with some crazy lashing and think that it's time to like give me this big lecture on what they think about me and who I am as a person. And I don't know where anybody came out and said, yeah, this is the way to do it. That's the way to go. Like, there's one company out here that is giving you a shot to do you and for you to do art at 100% freedom. And your move, when your time with that company is done, your number one move is to try to tear that company down. That was your number one move.
And it's crazy that people believe in burning bridges as opposed to putting up a gate. Like if you just never know.
And this is the way it is. Like the way that business works and shit. Okay, like the way that business works is, gosh, this. I don't know if it's my computer. I guess anyway. The way the business works is let's just say I have a business. Person comes to work for the business.
Yeah.
You sit down and say, hey, this is what we do here at this business, and this is what is expected of you at this business. The person says, oh, yes, I'm so excited to be a part of this. Absolutely. The person can't keep up with that end of the business. So you go to approach them about that.
Yeah.
They think all of a sudden now this isn't a working thing. This is a friendship thing. This is like a something we're doing as friends. And they don't think that should be the rule now. They think that they should be able, and you say, well, wait a minute, no, that's not the way it goes. And in the name of me not being cool as a friend anymore, they take that as something I've done to them to screw them over. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will fuck me up the ass with a spiked watermelon in this business.
Right.
And because I turn around and notice, that's something that I did to fuck them over.
Yeah.
that a lot of times I can't, people let me know shit. Like, I'll have a dispute with somebody and they'll start going back as far as 8-9 years ago, as far as like what they think about
these are things that they've been holding on to for a while.
And that they felt the whole entire time that they were sitting right there pretending to be friends and shit. And the thing about it is, like,
if you didn't want to be there, don't.
Exactly. The way that I am is like, if I'm cool with you, I will let you know that I'm cool with you. But if anything happens if anything happens along the way that makes me to where I don't feel that way anymore, I'm not going to like beat around the bush and keep a chip on my shoulder around you. I will go to you directly and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to resolve this, but however you want to resolve it is fine with me. I'm just letting you know that I'm not comfortable with this.
Yeah.
But for some reason we talk about, not to say it's not an issue, but we talk about these social issues out here like they're the only ones, when sometimes the ones that are brought to the forefront are the least prevalent. Like, I feel like in this day and age, you are only allowed to like stand up for yourself, to have self-confidence, to be self-assured, and to cut the bad people out of your life as long as you're sitting in one particular shell.
Yeah.
I don't really think that's for everybody. That's not allowed for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Only a certain level of people get to conduct themselves where they walk around playing the victim. And because everybody's worried about them all the time, they're going to step in the way of any adversity, step in between them and any adversity they ever have without even knowing the whole scenario, without even...
Yeah.
And like you said, 100% burn a bridge. And this is what has also happened over the course of the last 8 years, dude, is that people have, they've come here, completely torched the bridge. I'm talking with like a napalm Grand Theft Auto style, just sat there with the machine gun shooting at it even after it was gone and shit. And then 2-3 years go by, they hit me up, hey bro, I know we had some blah, 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 this and that. And so my message to them will be, hey man, great to hear from you. I'm glad you're still doing okay, but how about you fucking suck my dick, you gay fucking bitch? That's like, do you remember when you were burning my shit on camera? Do you remember when you were saying that how shitty of a parent I was on the fucking internet? Like, yeah. I'll say that to somebody, and then they'll take that as, again, another act of verbal assault against them.
Right. And
it's just, you're not allowed to be real about shit out here. As long as you fit a certain, they were, there was Conor McGregor, they were talking about one of his things, this like back and forth that he got into with this guy. And I forgot who it was, but it was like this other guy said something pretty fucking funny to him. But because it was Conor McGregor and because the whole company was behind him and because the audience was behind him, they were like, this guy should have known better than to even say anything because he didn't even have a chance. And I'm like, man, that fucking sucks because like it's like back to that tribalism thing. Like as long as you have enough people behind you, you can run around saying the sky is red, and that's what the new truth is going to be. And it's not that the people who are able, like a Conor McGregor or whatever, it's not that he's not able to decipher between the two. It's that people that watch people like him and people trying to be like him, they can't decipher between the two. So that's the way they feel like they have to behave like at their 9 to 5, or they just rather not have a 9 to 5.
And I think somebody that's good at that too, as far as celebrities go, is Kanye West. He's kind of got a following like that as well. Where like you can see the memes that they put up of Kanye. What's that one that they said? They said Kanye could put out an album with absolutely nothing on it, and his fans would be like, "I hear the music."
Right. Yeah. And that is the real crazy part about all of it, man. People will. Oh, I thought she left her phone, but the people it's like. This is what the constant thing is you let people in and just let them have free reign. You just make it entertainment camp. You come in and tell me what to do, and I'll just hold the camera for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You do that, and it turns into the same cheese dick ass Louisville thing over and over again. And you go to somebody for advice, and you're like, dude, why is my thing not making any noise? Why is it not making any traction? Why is this shit not any good? Why do people not care about it? And they're like, well, because you keep this, and this, and this around you. It's really clear. So what you say is, okay, no problem. You leave there and then you go get rid of that for the better of your business.
Yeah.
You think that sounds easy, right?
Right.
No. Dude, you let somebody go because you feel as if they are hurting your business, and dude, they will fucking destroy
the place to the ground. Yeah.
Dude, they will try to destroy your place. I'm talking tie TNT to every corner of it for whatever reason. And it's like, dude, what is the obsession? If I fucking work at McDonald's and I leave McDonald's, like, fuck this place, I'm leaving. The last thing I'm thinking about is that I'm going to get that restaurant closed down. I'm just done with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
yeah.
And I don't understand it, but what it is that
handling losses responsibly.
It's kind of like it's like the diplomacy. It's like military diplomacy or something. Okay, before you have, the Americans versus the Germans, the North versus the South. One wears red, one wears blue. They meet in the middle and they joust each other. And there's like this certain thing, and they meet. Two armies meet, they stop, and then the two leaders meet, and they say, okay, this is what's going to go down. We understand this and this, and then they separate. They try to come to terms and get a resolution first. Yeah. I mean, that's like this diplomacy thing.
Before this happens.
Then right around Vietnam, Desert Storm, the Middle East, Iraq, fucking Afghanistan, you start to see this emergence in, I guess it's like human evolution, where now all of a sudden there isn't that active diplomacy. They'll wait until you're fucking sitting having lunch at a place, and they'll kill fucking 300 non-combatants to kill a group of 5 soldiers. You know what I'm saying? You start to see this level of savagery out here right around that time. And it's like, connecting it to what I'm talking about is like, these people don't have a sense of diplomacy. They don't have a sense of, okay, I want my history to go down this way. I want to be remembered as a person who did this. You know what I'm saying? There's no more of that. They know that it's absolutely nothing. It's never going to be anything. That their only shot in it ever being anything is either a scratch off or someone like me coming through and putting them on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's their only shot at showing what they're. And so they know that when it's not working out with me, they know where they're going back to. So they gotta fucking go down crashing and burning and shit and kill everything good that you're doing, kill everything good that I'm doing, kill everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the way it is in Louisville. And I don't know why people are like that. Maybe it's just they just want to show me how downright disrespectful of people they are. Huge theme of people in Louisville. Huge theme of people in Louisville is, I'll send my girl out to work for me. I'll be my I'll be my wife will be my husband. I will have not had a job since I could remember. I don't have any prospects for a job. The groceries that are in my refrigerator, I did not buy them. And pretty much I am just a walking babysitter in my own life, shepherding myself,
Right.
into someone else's handout. But I'll fight anybody at any time, so I'm a fucking man.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
but
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do because I'm a man. Right? You know what I'm saying? And then people fucking blow my mind with that shit. It's like on that Idiocracy movie when they're like, yeah, bro, I don't really know what you're saying, but all those big words make you sound really faggy. You want to fight?
Right.
That's the way a lot of these people are, and this is the way that it's interpreted.
Just because you beat someone up doesn't make you right.
This is the way that it's interpreted is, hey Joey, let's just say we have 4 outings and Joey Berserk, marquee player here, is an hour late to each one of those. At that point, I would come to you, pull you to the side very respectfully and say, hey Joey, the time thing. You would tell me, I know the time, and we wouldn't have to harp on it too much. Quit it.
Right.
Now quit. These people, if that happened, I'm talking 90% of people who are no longer with DLMF anymore, what they will do is you come to them and say, hey, Joey, the time or whatever. What the fuck is wrong with my time? It's bullshit that you make us be here so you could be here. Why do you want us to just be here so you can set up your stupid ass little fucking shit? And then in the meantime, everybody else that's there is watching that person behave like that, or everyone else involved is seeing that person behaving like that, thinking that now all of a sudden the new standard is supposed to be that whatever this person is saying is what's about ready to go down. You know what I'm saying? And these people don't look at that, Joey. They don't say, okay, now he's the boss. They say, oh, well, if he gets to say whatever he wants, then I get to say whatever I want then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that that's the case. So when you say, hey, listen, this is what I need you to do. I need you to be on time. And if you can't be on time anymore, then just don't come here. I don't want you to waste your time because we can't use you. We got to get going right.
Yeah.
That person will be like, oh, just because you can't come to terms, you can't figure shit out with somebody because you're so fucking hard-headed.
After all the shit I've done.
Exactly. That's literally the way people do conflict resolution.
It's crazy because all along the way, you'll thank them for all the things they've done. And every time that you thank them, they'll say, oh, it's no problem. Oh, it's no problem. Oh, it's no problem.
Exactly.
And then the second you have a disagreement, it's been a problem ever since.
The entire time. Like I said, you make the deal with somebody, hey, this is the way it'll be. And another thing too, like, where do people, this is a big thing. The money has come up a lot with me, okay?
Yeah.
The money has come up a lot with people disgruntled about money and shit. And here's the thing. You've watched me, I don't know a single person, a single thing. If someone even thinks I owe them money, I will give them that money to avoid anybody saying that I owe them money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I pay every debt that I ever have. That's a big deal for me. A lot of people pretend that that's not the case just to have something to bitch about. I pay every debt that, but the money's been coming up a lot lately. And I don't know where people assume that like all this money and stuff comes from. The way that this operation works is I go and I work my 9 to 5 that I went and got a 4-year education to get.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of extra money that I made when I was fucking 19, 20, 21, fucking spreading mulch and laying concrete, okay? A little bit of extra money. So what I do is I take every bit of extra money on top of what I used to use to survive, and I use it to help the scene as I see fit. I take my money and I organize all this shit and put this shit together so the scene can shine. Usually my face not even being a part of it. That's literally what I'm guilty of doing out here. Now, what these people will do, even though the deal was, hey, they understand coming in that I'm not about ready to pay them fucking $500 to be there for fucking a day or what, whatever they think people are making to do this work. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay them that, but at the same time, I can do things that are worth so much more than that cash. I can help you get your platform started. I can build you a web page. I can do this stuff, and we'll kind of like do this stuff together. If that's understood, it's put out there that way.
Yeah.
You will start to do these things for these people. They will fuck up, and you mention it to them, and they'll be like, well, I was never paid for anything, and start going like all public and shit about how they were never paid for anything. It's like, wait a minute, that wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people will come up to me straight up and be like, yeah, right or wrong, even if this is like super lame of me to be doing, this is just, I'm a man. I ain't no bitch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though this is completely pathetic for me to be conducting myself this way, And so it's, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I think people might think that there's this like big, huge revenue stream from our merchandising and our.
Right. Yeah.
People working for this just assume that there's this big, huge, and like what it is I'm spending the money for all these materials. I'm spending the money for whatever facility we're doing it at. I'm spending the money for all the gear. I'm also putting in the time to film it, to organize it, to edit it. Then once it's edited, I spend the money to put it on Blu-ray. And then once it's on Blu-ray, I spend the money to rent a movie theater and just hope that out of the 200 seats that are at the movie theater, that somehow that'll help pay back some of that cost.
Yeah.
That's my income in this business, bro.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people think I'm like fucking them over by not putting them on like a yearly salary to show up once a month and do 2 hours worth of standing around and socializing. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't understand it, but it just seems like there are these, like, people sit around online and they see shit happening, they see shit being said, and then so if they have any interaction with me, they'll find a reason to be able to say that too, and know that they'll have validation because someone else has said it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are just so incredibly lame. I couldn't imagine being that way and live like slithering through life, maneuvering that way. And that's why these people didn't have shit before they came along, and that's why they won't have shit after they drop off. It's not because of how much I help elevate them and can take away from them. It's because their own mindset doesn't allow them to have anything meaningful or worthwhile in their lives, and that's why it's fucking like that.
Unfortunately so.
But anyway, a tangent. It's just it's crazy. I feel like a consistent topic has been people like that, on people that we've even shout out and given extensive respect to. What they give us in return is just this complete cheese dick bitch ass way of doing business. You know what I'm saying? And as deflating as it is, I feel like it remains prevalent because it's a fucking daily thing that happens. Like, what the fuck is the problem with us doing what we're doing?
Yeah.
Joey, you see, brother. You see it firsthand because you work directly with me, probably more so than anybody. I wake up and drink my coffee, sit in my office, do my computer work, go and do my work. I'm a hospice guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, like, people don't realize that. People are like, oh, you're so fucking self-centered. You don't give a fuck about anybody else, even though they sit and watch everything I do out here. And like, literally, I don't talk about this, because it's like a very, very hard part of my life. And then also it's like, we're supposed to be like celebrity superstars out here and shit, right? But so I don't talk about my job much. But my job is to like spend the last, on average, about 1.5 years of people's lives with them, to give them companionship and to be with them and to help them medically so they can like die peacefully in their own home because their families don't, care enough about them to take the time to do it. So they pay me to do it. And it's a very rewarding job, but it's a very sad job at the same time. But that's literally like what I go do. I go and sit and watch people's last days of their lives and try to give them like dignity and build them up to where they feel like good and confident with themselves and not fucking sad and depressed and shit. That's like the job that I do. And for this notion of people to say that like I'm like ego driven, self-centered and all that shit, the only reason that they say that is because of the fucking way that I look when I walk into the door. That's the only reason. Like,
well, I mean, we're also all over the place. So, I mean, like,
all over the place. And it's almost like we're hogging up. I think, Joey, I think people think that we're hogging up everything out here. That we're hogging the sandwiches and we're just leaving everybody else with the potato chips.
Yeah.
But guess what? Before we came for the sandwiches, those sandwiches were sitting getting what nobody doing shit with those sandwiches before we showed up. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's I don't know where the bitterness has to always come from. I don't know where the upper hand has to always come from. Because I mean, this is the thing. I guarantee you, Joey, the moment Joey fucking Berserk, I can't tell you how serious I am. The moment that I get on the line with Too Tough Tony and we can get a fucking boxing ring inside of WWME, that moment on, anybody who has a fucking single fucking negative word to say is a downright bitch unless they meet me in that ring. Period. Period. You know what I'm saying? And we can do it. We can do it for pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not pay-per-view, but I'm just saying. We can sell tickets. You mean tell me 200 people wouldn't show up to see that? Wouldn't show up to see somebody swear up and down they're going to beat up Chad D. Then how scared Chad D was and how much of a bitch Chad D was and how much of a blah, 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 and then see me standing in there like the fucking raging bull, brother.
Waiting for you.
They don't want to see that. And the moment that happens, all that stops. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be interesting to see what the excuse is then.
Yeah.
When they'll say, "Oh, well, look how big you are, and look how little I am." But that's the thing. Like, that's why little dogs don't go running up on pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? Keep your ass on the porch. You know what I'm saying? And this is the difference between a fucking pit bull and a dragon, brother.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean. And I'm not trying to sit here and pretend to be all hard and shit. I'm really not. But it's just the thing is, we're just trying to do good shit out here. That's it. And I don't know why people have to try to take it away. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the motivation of that is. And like when we go to release something, especially like a bigger thing that we're doing, you know, in a 3-month time period, it's not like this isn't a Walmart distribution center. Okay, this is like an entertainment company. People like kind of come and they go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people that come here, work here, and then no longer work here. And it's not because they got like put off or because they hate my guts for it. It's just they came and did a project here and then now they're going to work on another project. The professional people handle their business that way. The people who like this is the only project they've ever worked on in their life will ever work on, they're like pretty pissed off when they don't get to work on it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that sucks is that we'll have, 3 months worth of shit that we're working on. And within that 3-month time period, there will always be at least 1 or 2 people that find it a professional necessity to get online and drag us out or to get to get all up in my inbox and fucking tell me what they think about me. I mean, dude, in all honesty, man, we saw some pretty fucking disgusting shit this week, bro. And I'm not even gonna begin to fucking mention anything about it. But I mean, just some downright disgusting business that people think that they can conduct. And like if you're like and I always go back to prize fighting because I'm into it or whatever. But like, even if you're an athlete, like if you're getting ready for the Super Bowl, the last thing you need is some broad in your fucking inbox or in your voicemail fucking just drilling your ass about how sorry you are, about how much of a loser piece of shit you are. So I like the boxers and shit, they like move out of town and go like jog the mountains of Colorado and shit when they're training for a fight because they can't have those distractions and shit. And like we're out here working on a driven agenda like no one else out here. And why people feel like it's beneficial to us at all. Like, am I supposed to be some kind of like Stone Mountain Roman gladiator when it comes to people fucking with me for no reason and shit? It's like, dude, I'm trying to stay like mentally, like my mental health matters too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like But like I was saying earlier, that type of shit these days only matters for some people. Like if you bust out on somebody like that, depending on what they look like and what they have between their legs and what their gender or whatever the situation, it's like totally it would be dude, it would be horrendous for people, for us to talk to some people the way that people talk to us and shit. Like it would be horrendous, dude. And dude, I'm 100% confident in saying that if we had a fair shake at all, if they put us on the same like judgment scale as they put other people on, same platform, or like let me say like the same, they'll sit and watch one person and be like super respectful of that person, call that person super real, all that, even though they know some pretty shameful shit, they'll just ignore that.
Yeah.
But with me, they'll know a bunch of fucking really admirable shit that we've done. Just ignore all of that and then just focus on the couple shameful things they see there. Right. When they're on somebody's complete fucking dick for the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying? Right, yeah. It's I don't understand the people, man, and that do that shit, the gross ass business that way. And I'm really confused, honestly, because I feel this happened this week. Someone said, for you to do good business, this is what I need. And I said, 100%. How about a little extra on top of that? Yeah. We did that. Not a single thank you or anything. Not a single whatever. Directly after that, what happened? Completely forgotten about. Now it's back to telling you again how much of I think about you. So we cut that off. Like, nope, that's not about ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen. And then what does happen as soon as that situation is diverted is we say, hey, listen, you remember, you saw how we did business tonight. There's some people who we're afraid we're going to wake up tomorrow morning and see some shit online that's going to say we didn't do our business this way. So if you see somebody saying that, please help us remember how business was done tonight. Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. A couple days later, pussy ass whining post about us comes out. That dude we said that to is liking that post and supporting that post and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then it's like, in the meantime, what we're doing out here is fake and bad and wrong. And that is the reason you see the fucking world turn into the fucking nightmare that it's become, is because all in the name of pride, this pussyfooting loser shit, people just learned how to talk and make excuses and put down the people who aren't worried about making the excuses, who are just going out here doing shit. So you get an argument with that person, and they might not have the catchy, snazzy clapbacks for you, but they're really out here getting it done. But because you had the clapbacks, you're the man, and now the losers fucking, reign supreme because of that. And that's why you see shit on such a cheese dick kind of way. Like, people talk about how they don't believe the government and don't trust the government because the government does this, this, and this. The government suppresses me. The government forces me. The government does all this. And it's like, look at your fucking self. How do you run your household? Do you not do that same shit in your life? Yeah. Like, do you not see someone else that is, like, preaching against what you're doing, so therefore you're, like, coming up with a bunch of reasons that that's a bad person just so people don't pay attention to them because that might threaten your way of being? Yeah. That person might not be a bad person at all, but you're coming down on them because they threaten your little philosophy, And it's it's just tough, man, because like I'm not really like much of a people person. I'm not like worried about being people's friends and their buddies. I'm not 20 years from now, I could give a fuck if people, I think it'd be maybe a little cooler if they were like, man, that dude wasn't a very nice guy at all. And then to say, oh man, what a precious sweetheart of a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I don't really care about that part of it. But for some reason, because I don't, and because of the way I look or whatever, I'm not allowed to have integrity. I'm not allowed to focus on my mental health. I'm not here. Joey, if you said this, if you said, Chad, you know what? I really appreciate my time working with you. I appreciate everything, but for my mental health, I really need to like take a step away from some shit. I would have to respect that because that's a very important part of your health. If I really respected you, I would respect that.
And not only that, it's a respectable approach about it.
Exactly. And I would have to respect that. Me, which you would, if it was like this with you, I know it'd be different. But if I went to majority of the people that you and I worked with together alone, I mean, because you and I working together, that's been maybe 1/8 of my time in DLMF, you know, so just in yours and my time working together, we've seen a lot of people that if I stood up and said, hey, for my mental health, I got to stop doing this and I got to walk away and I got to just not do this. Or for my mental health, I can't like keep working with you. You've done nothing wrong. I still want to be friends with you. But for my own mental health, it's just not healthy for my mental health to keep working with you.
Yeah.
You tell me what that person would do with that on the internet if I had the nerve to tell somebody that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, and I'm not trying to play victim or anything, but at the same time, I wish people understood that I just don't have the same fair shake that others do, and I wish I did. If I did, buddy, I'd have $50 million in the bank right now if I was able to play half the shit these people play with these pity parties and these mental health things and these. And it's not that I don't buy that those things exist, but it's like I just don't get to use those in my arsenal,
Right.
Strictly because of some shit that if I did to you, I'd be a bad guy for once again.
Yeah.
There's some people out here, and it's usually the people who are the most pitiful that are always going to be the good guys out of people's sympathy and shit. Some people will always be the bad guys out of people's lack thereof, you know. But to think this is really a cartoon where just a bunch of fortunate good shit is happening to the bad guy for no reason, just because of how much of a douchey white person he is, you know, is crazy. And I think people really believe that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make a startling confession. Not really startling. I don't think it's too hard to believe. But I've always been this big believer in the phrase, it's not the car, it's the driver.
Yeah.
You know, in every suit I've ever worn on stage at any show I've ever done, not the one from Brewski's, that was a pretty expensive one, but every suit I've ever worn has been from the Goodwill, every single one. There's never been a time you see me on stage with a collared shirt and the jewelry and the jacket with the little rose in my thing that outfit cost me any more than $7
Right.
at any time ever. And I would love it. I would almost get enjoyment off of it when people would be so furious of me for overdressing so much when their outfit literally cost 800% more than mine did.
Right.
And I felt like I said to myself, if you were really intimidated by this outfit, this is a $7 outfit. You're not intimidated by the outfit. You're intimidated by the guy wearing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always said, you know, if I can get people jumping and hollering in this outfit, you know, imagine what we could do. And so it was a lot of symbolism with it. And I never got on stage and said, hey, everybody, I'm in a Goodwill suit. I never did that.
Right,
but at the same time, I would hear people be like, oh, yeah, he's up there with this little rich kid fucking outfit on. And I'm like, buddy, if you only understood how much of a poor kid outfit I had on.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of times I walked in these clubs with rings, you know. A big part of the touring portion of the Cadillac Dundee thing was while I was in school at U of L and shit. And I mean, you talk about broke. I was broke.
Yeah.
Broke. And here I am walking into Trixie's or walking into North Carolina, walking into fucking Ground Zero in Spartansburg, South Carolina. I mean, here I am walking in like I'm fucking one of the Trump kids. And I maybe have $5 in my pocket, maybe less. You know, my phone bill was paid or whatever, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And to see people come down on me, it's like this. To hate somebody because of where they were born or because of what family they were born into or what their skin color is, to hate somebody for that is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's very disgusting to do that. It's horrible. It's racism. Okay. Now imagine this. I don't even want to get into it, but what I'm saying is imagine this. Imagine somebody hates Mexicans. That's disgusting, right? Just,
Right.
I hate all Mexicans. They're beautiful Mexicans. Fucking Selma Hayek makes my mouth salivate. That woman's 60 years old. Still makes my mouth salivate. Antonio Banderas, I think he's from Spain. But the point about it is Mexicans are wonderful. Canelo Alvarez, the number one boxer in the world right now, Mexican guy. And the Mexican culture is worth more than just its famous people. But
celebrities, but you know.
Okay, let me stop before I get too bad. But anyway, let's say somebody just hates Mexicans, okay? That would be terrible for them to do.
Yeah.
Now imagine them hating you for being Mexican, and you're not even Mexican.
Right.
How disgusting does that fucking person look doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody who's ever pointed their finger at me for being a spoiled rich kid who like grew up in a nice neighborhood with money because of the way I look in my Goodwill suit, I look at them disgusting like that. That's why I can't still shake their hand when I see them. That's why I'm not nice to these people. That's why I don't show up to places that you'd think I'd show up to, because I don't fuck with people who their brain chemicals operate that way.
Right.
I just don't, dude. And you know, I sometimes I feel like this type of platform.
You know, sometimes I think I feel the same way too, because like if they could only know about, because for me growing up, it was a lot of staying in the car, and then we stayed in like extended stays, and then we had to stay with grandma, you know, things like that.
Is anybody here lately in the last, since the record came out, hitting you with any rich kid shit, spoiled rich kid shit?
No.
Am I hitting you with that? No. They will. Don't worry.
But the thing is, my approach about it is different. A lot of people, when they get shit thrown their way, or they have bad spoken on them, they have a need to feel like that when the punch is thrown, that it lands on a spike, you know. And for me, I'd rather just land on a pillow. That way you just walk away unscathed. And a lot of people are too good to do that.
Joey, I'm going to tell you something.
A lot of people are way too good to do that. But I also have a belief that if a lot more of that happened, you wouldn't have the issue in the first place. There'd be a lot more of the camaraderie. But
Joey, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. That is not only a good point, but it's one of the best points I've ever heard. I mean, that is so spot on. That instead of needing them to land on a spike, to just let them swing at the air, and eventually they'll.
Yeah. And
that's so true. I mean, it's so true, because that, of course, I mean, to be honest with you, when I see, I mean, dude, I'm like fucked in the head and shit. Like, I'm not like DMX and Belly fucked in the head. I'm like Norman Bates fucked in the head. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, when these people come at me like that, I'd be lying if I said I didn't fantasize about playing around in their blood in the bathtub and shit.
Right.
Thinking about melting their faces with acid and things like that. Like, it runs through my head. What their head would look like on a stick, things like that. Like, I want to bite their heart and change their face. But I don't need to be that way. Period. I don't, because it doesn't.
Well,
I just don't. But I think it's like an overabundance thing, right, Joey? Like, if one mosquito bites you, you're like, you don't even act like you don't notice. But if your arm is fucking riddled with mosquito bites, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck is
you know
going
what I'm
on?
saying?
Yeah.
And that's kind of
that's kind of where you're at with it.
But the thing about it is the moment, and with you, what people always do is I'll have somebody with me. I'll have somebody that I'm really pushing for. Whether it be K7, before K7, it was the band. And with the band, it was really kind of Chad McKenzie. Chad, our drummer, was such a standout, like more so of a standout talent than you have this band and you think like kind of like the front man is somewhat of a standout talent. And I like to think of myself as that, but our drummer was more so. He was phenomenal fucking drummer. And, so no matter what the case, if someone felt uncomfortable coming to me about something, they would come to that person and do the good cop, bad cop thing. And that is a fucking cancerous thing as well, because in the name of being like friends and shit, like all I've ever said is, hey, just tell them to call me. Tell them that that's not your department. Tell them to call me. And in the name of being friends and in the name of like having ownership, what people will do is they'll, oh, yeah. And they'll just make calls that I'll all of a sudden be obligated with because you just signed something off with the company letterhead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'll be responsible for that, and not having anybody in this position because anybody that is in this position that does what I do, they see me as a rival. They don't see me as like a constituent. They see me as a rival. Gosh, is this Joey? Time sure is flying here, buddy.
It is flying. I apologize. I'm not even.
No, don't be. I'm on one today, buddy. I'm on a roll. It's so crazy that 30 minutes before you got here, I was like this. I was like I couldn't talk. Nikki was telling me, she was like, oh gosh, she was like, I'm so quiet in the morning. I'm kind of grumpy in the morning and stuff like that. That's what she said. And I was like thinking to myself, like, I'm just going to I'm going to stay 100% silent because anything I say, I could tell her how beautiful she is. It'll still sound very insulting and grumpy right now. So I'm just going to.
In my head, I would say, you're so beautiful, but it'll come out as fuck you.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. But that's the frustrating thing with this business is that anybody that you mentioned something earlier on about what's the problem with learning something? What is the need to always be right? What is this? What is this? Me, that's what I say. Joey, the number one thing I say is, what's wrong with me? What do I need to do? What could I do? What should I do?
I got you.
And so I try to look to the OGs. You know what I'm saying? I try to look for in the OG for me to call and get some guidance of and to or with or whatever.
Yeah.
And any one of them either sees me as like a rival that's like on site when they see me, or that I need to pay them for that time to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that gets pretty frustrating because it's kind of like, we're kind of left to figure it out, just like, but I really feel like maybe Joey, unless I feel like if I put the whole entire business in the hands of like someone else, you know what I mean? Because it's just something, I don't know. For some reason, I'm not allowed to have like a standard or a way of doing things. I'm not allowed to stand up for myself. I'm not allowed to, for some reason, people that are in a certain shell just aren't allowed to do that. And I don't know why. I can't figure it out. And I don't have this big group of bully ass people that are going to go like surround people into just understanding. Like, I don't handle myself like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the bullying, and I will not accept the bullying. If I see anything close to bullying, anything close to somebody having to feel like they're self-conscious, they're now more self-conscious because of something someone did or said, I'm going to point that out. I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm not going to like punk you out about it. I'm just going to voice a simple concern. Hey, this is a concern. We can't have that anymore, okay?
Yeah.
And then a person telling me about 8 years of judgment, what they think about me, and handling their business it makes me want to throw up the way that they fucking handle their business, dude. And then, so our business ends then, and then they go back to having no business. And then we keep our business going. And it's so sad because it's like, for some reason, like, I'm the bad guy for not keeping that. But it's like, dude, get your shit together. And it would have, like, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean it's everybody else's fault. Like, what the fuck? And then using this pity party shit, using age and name and condition and gender as a reason for...
As an excuse.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I don't know. But at the end of the day, sometimes, I was going to say this, like, sometimes my biggest mistake in this shit is just trying to, like, help people. Seeing people with talent that no one else is willing to help, and I'm willing to help them. But somebody, a very smart, extremely smart, intelligent person brought this to the business, and they said, look, if they haven't had anyone else do this for them up till this point, it might be just as smart to figure out why they haven't done it up to this point. Maybe that'll save a lot of this drama.
Yeah.
Because if we did more of a vetting process, like and I feel like we're starting to do that a little more this year, kind of starting to kind of scan and analyze before we really take that leap with somebody. Because usually what it is, like, man, we just need a hand on set.
Yeah.
This person's willing to be a hand on set, so then they're there. And then they're there next time, whatever. It's pretty rare that someone comes in like an actual orientation situation where they're scouted and then things are organized. That's rare. And I think because people are used to working their like Dollar Tree jobs or not having jobs at all, that they're like unaware of the way that business works and the way, they think the money that they don't see is money that's somehow not spent, that all that shit just happens for free somehow or another. And that you just get this invisible source of income because you do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
The idea of somebody spending all of this money to get all of this gear just to put something together with it and try to make a little bit of that money back, that's a total foreign concept to them. They can't believe in loving something so much that you're willing to invest that much in it. They don't even do that for themselves. Why would they believe in that for this? And so you try to stand up for your business and stand up for your initiative, and people, they're like, wait a second. We're not running this like the typical cheese dick Louisville thing.
Right, yeah.
I am mad now, and you do horrible business, and you're a fucking bitch, and come fight me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way people handle their business here. It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
I wish somebody would call in and fucking disagree with me about this so I could fucking roast you for it. But until then, sorry. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
No, look. I wish somebody would call and ask if I give a fuck so I could tell them I didn't. No. One thing you brought up, the coolest idea I've heard yet about this show, and we've literally lingered like 3 episodes without even doing it, so we're going to do it right now, okay? I'm going to cue up a little music for it, okay?
Oh, man. Is this what I think it is?
You're just going to hear the music, and it'll be, all right, it'll be the segue into the...
Oh, yeah.
Look.
Oh, shit. With the cigarette.
In our brand new segment, the U Radio podcast, we give you the X-Files. EX-Files.
EX-File.
EX. Okay. And so this segment is where we tell embarrassing, humiliating, maybe not like reveal names, but tell some pretty
anonymously.
Embarrassing, disgusting, hilarious, and humiliating moments of times with your ex. If somebody's watching this right now and would like to give us an X-File, we'll go first, and you guys can call in and give us an X-File, okay? Joey, I'm going to pour some coffee if you'd like to go first.
Oh, great. Yeah, I got to go first with the X-File. Perfect.
Yes. All right. You're the one who came up with the idea, so you get to go first.
Right. All right. So, anonymously.
I'm listening.
I remember I was in a relationship, and it was my birthday. And it's very rare that I ever do anything for myself.
Right, of course.
On my birthday or anything like that, but
you'd rather take the family out and call that your birthday dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I decided to go out with a few friends, and I had got this shirt, and I really don't splurge on myself as far as clothing goes or anything like that, but I got this shirt, and it was very expensive. I don't want to...
$500 shirt, that's what in wrestling... Anytime The Rock came out, he would always say, I got on a $500 shirt. It was always $500.
Right.
Never a $250 shirt. Never a $600 shirt. It was always.
Yeah.
Hey, Brock. Hey, champ. What's up with this $500 shirt?
It was a black button up. It had like a gold trim to it.
Ooh.
It was hard.
El Chapo? Don't do it.
Crazy hard. And I got myself all dressed up and cleaned up, groomed up, looking all good to go out and everything. And just based upon how I looked, the person I was with got mad, grabbed my shirt, and ripped it right down the fucking middle.
In there.
And literally it was, if you think you're going to leave here looking like that, you're out of your fucking mind. I was like, wow.
She said no.
I was like, I literally blinking guy. I was, what?
And that was
couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
You know, all right, I don't know if this worked out like this for you, but it growing up for me, everything was, you know, I'm the adult. All the rules for me was I'm the adult.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't need to make sense because I'm the adult. Okay. And then once you became an adult, it was like, wait a second, I'm an adult now. Well, this is my house. Well, wait a minute, this is my house. This is my house. You're going to follow my rules in my house kind of thing. I think relationships are a lot like that too. People think, wait a second.
They do that to the person.
They would do that to the person.
Yeah.
You are mine. You are not going to dress my body like that and then walk out without me. And that is
And it was clearly because that was probably the best I think I looked in a long time.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of effort. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I just woke up and looked like that. I completely put effort into looking that way because I wanted to feel good, look good. It's my birthday. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I want them to see me looking good, that I'm doing good.
It's your birthday.
Like a part of showing people, like I feel like that's a part of showing people that you're doing good is that you look good.
100%.
It's a big part of it.
Yes.
So, and that's what it was about.
Would you look good, you feel good.
All of that.
Would you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay good.
And in that stem moment of jealousy of like, because I guess because she wasn't coming with, because it was a guy's night, I'll be motherfucking damned, right down the motherfucking middle. I didn't even...
I won't front on you, man. When I was married, the girl I got married to, that was the last girl. Honestly, being with her taught me all about that because we were never in that scenario where we'd be like tearing each other's clothes up or anything and never really arguing at the door about the way that we looked and shit. I mean, we were really always kind of building each other up, but because I liked her so much and because I didn't want her to leave me for somebody, it was like this thing like, oh man, like I feel like you're kind of like, and it would be like a healthy conversation, but it'd be like, I feel like you're kind of like inviting that attention when you kind of come out and you'll say that, but even for me to have said that, I think was wrong because my whole mindset was that she like belonged to me and I belonged to her. So therefore it wasn't, but that's not the way it should have been. I realized like after that, I was like, dude, I can't be like that with somebody. Like I genuinely have to be good with myself to where if she does just up and leave me for somebody else, that's not going to set me back. Like, of course, a marriage or somebody you're serious with, of course it's like a setback because that sucks. But as far as like life goes, I can't like depend on another person for my happiness so much to where if they leave me for someone else, I'm just going to be crushed and ruined. Yeah, like I can't. And so I learned that through self-error. Like that was totally a me thing that I feel like maybe if I could have not had that, but then maybe shit would have gotten a little out of control then too. I don't know. But I think the takeaway like from a scenario like that is if I think a girl's just going to like leave me just from going out for a night of drinking, I don't need to be with someone that serious like that to begin with. So you know what I mean. So that's on me at the end of the day, and that really taught me that.
That's also what that's a thing that I've learned too. Is that's why I'm not so quick to be in a relationship like I was before because I want to make sure that we can let alone be friends first. Right. Like because, and I come to find out that you'll get. So it's like when you cross that certain point into being into that full commitment. Yeah. That's when the feelings start to get tucked away. The things that you start to think and start to feel get tucked away, because when you were starting to talk as friends, like it's crazy how you can be brutally honest with a stranger, an absolute stranger. Spill your guts to them.
Tell them, Joey.
Because you're like, well, this person could care less. And that's my fear, is that I'm going to start losing that honesty the second we cross that threshold into being something committed. And because I feel like as a friend right now, or just as whatever we may be, I'm getting all honesty out of you, because you have no reason to care much about how I feel, because we're not anything that you would consider like to the end of the road or forever, or.
Let me ask you this question. If you found somebody who was into you, doing you, being you, as if you were single, even though they were with you, but yet you still came home and they rubbed your feet and cooked your dinner for you, and they were still totally cool with you, not changing anything to be with them, waiting on that person, you feel like you'd probably be waiting for a while, right?
Yeah.
You'd probably be going for a while without anything, right?
Yeah.
So up until then, we start to settle for the next best thing, or we find somebody that we feel like is so beyond our league that we're willing to like hide bad shit about ourselves to make ourselves more deserving of having them or something. You know what I'm saying? I swear it is 100% so worth it to like just exactly like you're doing, to not settle at all. That is like a recipe for disaster, unless you find somebody who like on every angle. Now the sex might be amazing.
Yeah.
You may love the response or the whatever, like when you take the person around your people in your family, they're like, oh, who's that? Look at, they got somebody fine. You might love the way that feels when people say that. There might be like, out of 8 things, there may be 7 things that are perfect. But if that 8th thing isn't on point, you may just be willing to be cool with settling with that. But that 8th thing might be the complete crack in the Liberty
the straw that breaks the camel's
exactly,
back.
Man. And so, it took me until I was fucking 35 years old to figure that out, dude. That you just if and it sucks because it goes back to the scenario. If I see where relationships are going to be going in a toxic direction, a relationship is going in a toxic direction, so I'll say, hey, listen, before this gets any worse, and while we're still cool and still really like each other, let's just cut it right here, and maybe at a different point in our lives we'll come back to this. But it's just, for me and my mental health, I have to do this. You are immediately, you got a little dick, you're cheating on me, you're replacing me, you weren't ever shit, you're a narcissist, you're this, and I absolutely hate that, because that's those same girls who do that to a dude who says, hey, listen, I just need to take a step back for me before this gets any worse. The same girls who will come and call that dude a fucking gay boy and a fuck boy and all this shit are the same ones who like will be with a dude for 6 years and find out he's got a baby somewhere else, a house somewhere else, he's got all this shit, be like, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Yeah. And it's because he probably did not feel comfortable at all. You would have fucking crushed him if he'd have stepped away from this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I wish people could think a little bit further than that. You know what I'm saying? To understand that settling is just a recipe for disaster, and allowing people, if someone gets with you, Joey, amazing ass person, and you think everything went great, and she just decides to not call you the next day and not answer the phone for you the next day, that's nothing wrong that she did to you, or it's nothing wrong someone did to me. She just decided it's not the best for her.
Exactly.
We as people, girls, y'all need to let us dudes, y'all need to let the girls, if they just decide it doesn't work for them, doesn't matter why.
It doesn't. It's not your business why, really.
We need to let that happen, because there's a lot of toxic relationships going on out here because people are so afraid of being humiliated for stepping away.
Or they'll keep somebody around just to fill temporary feelings, like a temporary void of loneliness. It's
or
like, I don't feel lonely anymore. I don't need you around. You know what I'm saying? Like,
here's a big one. They'll stick around just so no one else, so they don't have to hear about someone else having them.
Oh yeah,
or the friend having them, or something.
And that's where I get called crazy for.
Yeah.
A lot is that if that's the understanding we have, that's you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to step in the way of anything. You know what I'm saying? Just as long as it's not something that concerns my health or safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, but
absolutely. And I mean, to be honest, man, my whole shit about it.
The moment you try to grab something is when you'll lose control of it. It's like, it's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. My whole outlook on relationships and shit has changed, bro. I'm all about like compromise and respect. And this is what I think. I think, and I got an X file for you too, dude. The time has flown by today. I cannot believe how fast this shit has gone.
What time is it?
Fucking 6:30 almost.
Oh wow.
That's just a little side note that we're coming for everyone who said that we couldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, back to the thing. My whole outlook on relationships have changed. Okay. Allow me to say this pretty clearly. People chase after money, not because having the money, they want to spend the money on shit. You know.
Yeah.
The money, they believe that the money will get them to the happiness the fastest.
Yeah.
Yet, at the end of the day, the money is what they're really going after. See, this is me. All right. At the end of the day, the happiness is really what they're going after. It's not the money that they're chasing, it's the happiness that they're chasing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all just want to be happy. We want to feel respected. We want to feel fulfilled. That's what we all want to feel. How we all go about doing it is, I guess, our own decision or whatever.
Yeah.
In relation to what we're talking about, like as far as relationships go, if you and I are sitting here, figuratively, you and I, let's say you're Steve and I'm Tim, okay?
Okay.
Steve walks in and is talking about this girl that he slept with. Man, you should have seen this girl I was with last night. Oh my God. Steve and Tim are sitting here fist bumping. They're talking about it. They're talking details about it.
Right.
They're happy for each other, you know, because they're here to kind of build each other up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
However, if your girlfriend walks in and talks about that shit, I mean, it would be over right then and there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be like best friends with the person I'm with. And I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, like fist bumping them when they talk about going and sleeping with other people.
Right, yeah.
But I really don't feel like your partner having sex or seeing someone else looking at someone else's ass, going and having lunch with somebody. I really don't think that's the part that upsets people. I think it's the lying and the going behind each other's back.
Because the second you do that, other things start to.
What else is going on?
What else has been false?
Or you feel like you're like the lame one of the crowd that people are keeping stuff from, or you feel like, you know, it just makes you feel so much lesser than.
Right, yeah.
When that shit happens, and
just keep me in the loop.
And that's kind of like where I'm like, and it's like to understand that, like, you have your life and I have my life, where we can help each other and complement each other is where we need to share our lives.
Yeah.
But as far as the part that makes our lives complicated because we're sharing it, we need to not focus so much on that. And so, like, when it comes to, like, going and being with other people and shit, it's not, like, about that. It's not just, like, this free open hall pass to go be with other people and shit. But it's, like, a scenario where it's shit that y'all discuss together as friends.
Right, yeah.
You know, if you get with a girl that you super duper like and she's kicking it at your house, you think you might have a real shot. There's a big time chance that no less than 12 hours ago she was getting banged by someone else.
Right.
Big chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, but you will still do it in a heartbeat. There's a lot of these dudes out here. Okay, I'm not going to make myself a part of this. Okay, let's just say figuratively, dude's girlfriends show up at another dude's door.
Yeah.
and they find out about that, they're not just gonna like never sleep with that girl again and never be with that girl. Chances are they're not gonna miss a single day. They're still gonna sleep in the bed with each other that night. You know what I'm saying? So they're not upset about the sex part. The sex part isn't what upsets people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's the
betrayal.
It's the lying, the betrayal, the behind the back shit. And so that's kind of the way I see relationships is like, I kind of feel like if someone gave me that respect and showed me I was important enough to them I almost feel like there would be some shit that I would like bend on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like sometimes just the way someone chews or breathes can drive me crazy if they're just a lazy ass piece of shit that just sits around and does it. But at the same time, I don't even think about that if they're not that lazy piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think if someone is like making you feel like you're like the most respected part of their lives and shit like that, you're willing to bend over backwards for them in return.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people aren't wanting to do that. Like they're not wanting to put forth, you know what I'm saying? That even that level of friendship, much less, you know what I mean, level of trust and shit in a relationship. A lot of people don't feel comfortable going to someone and being like, listen, the focal point of my day today, I went and ran errands today, and the focal point of my day today was the fucking broad's ass that worked at the pet store. Oh my God. No. When she bent over to get my feeder fish, I couldn't think about, that's all I could think about the rest of the day. And I'm sitting, that's like beating in my head while I'm sitting there with the person. I'm not telling them that, I'm keeping that from them. When really, if I told the story out loud, it might be funny. It might be, you know what I'm saying? But some people just wouldn't even feel comfortable talking about that to the person. And so therefore, if I'm with a person that doesn't feel comfortable hearing me talk like that, like maybe this isn't the best thing for you. Like we think each other are attractive or we like hanging out with each other, but this is where the oil and water for us kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way I see relationships now. Is that's kind of the way I needed a complete, like, kind of transparency of best friends kind of thing.
You know, and it's because of the whole, the berserk thing, I'm afraid to pick up hobbies anymore. Like, I used to do that. I used to be, like, heavy into gaming. I used to be heavy into, like, and just any other thing outside of music.
Right.
But, like, I've gotten to the point now where I'm so zoned in that it all feels like it could be a potential distraction because I'm afraid I'll get into it too much.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I'll like it too much. And
that's the way I feel about, that's what I feel about smoking crack. I swear.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah. That it could be one of those things that you fall in love with and it's not good.
I shouldn't say smoking crack because I don't think. Quick side story. I took some shit one time I thought was Molly. It was really meth. And that was like the way that children are birth control against having children is the way accidentally doing meth is a way to not ever want to do meth ever again, ever. Oh my God. So not smoking crack, maybe doing Xanax, let's say that.
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe doing acid or hydroponic mushrooms.
Yeah.
But please continue.
But yeah. But sometimes I get afraid that a relationship will also do that as well.
So true. I've been infatuated with people, with a couple of people I've been with. That, you know what I mean? It's crazy because I'm not the one that's like has to hold your hand and put a hand on you.
Right, no.
Let everybody know. I'm not the one that has to be real controlling or anything, but there's been a couple people that I've been with that I've just been so into like that it was like at a toxic level. Just me being into them, period, was kind of a topic.
That's exactly it.
And
that's what I'm afraid of.
And being younger and not recognizing shit the way that I do now, which I still don't think I have it like figured out or anything, but being younger then, I knew that was like a toxic thing, and I knew I'd probably be better off getting away from that. Yeah. But how would I present that to the table, especially after having like a child with somebody or something? How do you say, hey, listen, this is going to turn out bad if we keep doing this? You know what I'm saying? Or mentioning that to them and getting threatened by, oh, no, you're not, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So that's so true is that, you know, I've been completely infatuated with a couple of people I've been with, and it wasn't healthy, but I stayed with it because I thought that was the right thing to do. Was as long as I stayed, right. And yeah, and so that's so true, man. Let's see, 1 second. I'm gonna tell myself an X file. I'm trying to think while we're sitting here. I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of something appropriate that I could even talk about. All right. So what brand should this be?
Brand.
What brand of X file should this be? Should it be something that the police were involved in? Let's see, something that involved. Because I mean, bro, it's as sad as it is. I've found myself in a lot of fucked up scenarios of fucking.
Let's see.
I mean, yeah. If I started getting real unfiltered on this show, buddy, sometimes I'd probably. I don't think I'd amaze anybody watching it, but I'd amaze myself. I think. X file. Let me think. Crazy X. Okay, I mean, like one time I was with this girl. And it was like this, like she was like popular on Facebook. I don't know if you call it like a Facebook model or whatever. She posts pictures of herself, get like 250 likes and all this shit. And then I started dating her or whatever. And so we would post these pictures and she'd be like naked pressed against me with like, so her nipples weren't showing, but it'd be very clear she was naked and we'd take pictures. So it was like this thing on Facebook or whatever. Well, then we break up and that was devastating to her, not because she was breaking up with me, but because this show, you know, her reality show the script was flipped on it.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, which was the day before my son's birthday, a day before I started back in college, she just came and stole every fucking, it was like $5,000 worth of shit. Stole my TV off the wall, my PlayStation, TV off my bedroom wall, my watches, my fucking cologne, my change jar. I mean,
Jesus.
Came and cleaned me out. When I caught my laptop, I mean, just everything, cleaned me out a day before my kid's birthday. My kid had to walk into the house, empty house, like we were moving or something. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It was fucked up. But when I called the law or whatever, the law went and saw her on it. She said, "Oh yeah, all that shit was mine. I lived there. I brought all that shit into the house. I just went and took my shit back. That was it. That was
end of story.
End of story." She came, kicked my door in, shattered my back glass window, left holes in my wall where she ripped the mount. Like the mount was ripped out of the drywall and shit. I mean, it was very clear that my house was aggressively robbed. She told the police, yeah, it was all my shit. I lived there. I brought all of it in there, which is a complete fucking lie. She didn't have. It was a complete scholarship program she was on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, so that's crazy. One time I gave a girl a house. I gave a girl a house to live in. And when I showed up, I mean, just let her stay there for free. And when I found out that she was legally trying because she was staying there, she was somehow trying to put the house in her name somehow because she was. So when I found that out legally, my lawyer instructed me to give her an eviction notice to be out within 30 days. And as long as that was documented, it was shown something that would keep her from doing that.
Yeah.
Legal jargon I just care to never relive again. But anyway, so when I did that, I delivered the eviction notice to her, got it on camera, all right, had my cell phone camera out the whole time, handed it to her. She goes, yeah, I got your fucking stupid papers. I walk to my truck, get inside my truck. She picks up a handful of gravel out of her driveway and throws it at my windshield. And you see it on this thing as I'm pulling out. She's throwing rocks, babies in diapers. It's cold outside, everything. Throwing rocks at my house or at my car as I'm pulling off. I go and I go back to where I'm staying. 4:00 in the morning, get a knock at the door. The sheriff's office with an EPO saying that I drug her around by her hair in the front yard.
Oh, wow.
And so I was to go and be in front of a judge. And when I was in front of a judge, I had to take anger management classes. I didn't get charged for it because when I was sitting in court, I was I have the whole event on camera right here. Case closed. You know what I'm saying? It happened real fast. And I was case closed, have the whole thing. She, I don't want to see that. That's hearsay. That's what the judge said. Female judge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. That's hearsay. So I didn't get charged because it was very clear I didn't do shit, but they still put me in these anger management classes, and God, what a fucking nightmare that was. So yeah, I mean, I definitely got like, you know, took a move to revoke somebody's scholarship, and they fucking.
I guess what's our time looking like? I might close it off my section with
25 minutes.
25 minutes off. We're good. All
yeah,
right.
we're good.
Cool.
Yeah, please, pivot this shit before it gets too pathetic.
Well, no.